Hi, it's Miss Andrews and Miss Conley, and we're here to go over a couple of exponent problems with you. We've talked about the 4 laws so far when we're multiplying with powers, dividing with powers, raising powers to powers, and the 0 exponent.
Okay, so this first problem is a division problem. So we see we have negative 3x divided by x to the 6. So our coefficients, there's a 1 there in the denominator that's not written. So we do negative 3 divided by 1, which is negative 3. And then we have x to the first power divided by x to the 6th. So remember, when we're dividing, the shortcut is to subtract the exponents, but for this one we need to do our subtraction in the denominator because the problem starts out with more x's in the denominator. So we have x to the 5th power in the denominator.
Okay, our second problem here has that 0 exponent, and we've learned and talked about that anything raised to a 0 power is equal to 1, and so we know that this whole quantity, since it's in these parentheses, we know that that's equal to 1. We can also think about the fact that this exponent would go into each of the pieces on the inside, and really we have x to the 0, y to the 0, and z to the 0. And each of those would equal 1, and when we multiply 1 times 1 times 1, it equals 1. But remember that that comes from some kind of situation like maybe x to the 4th over x to the 4th. That's a fraction where the numerator and denominator are the same, would reduce down to 1. Or if we follow our exponent law that says that we subtract the exponents, we end up with x to the 0 power. So that's how we get that value equals 1, no matter what the base is. Oops. There.
Okay, and the next one, so we have a big multiplication problem here with lots of brackets. So we'll write our multiplication there in between the two sets of brackets. Now in the first one we have a 3 outside of the brackets. So we need to share that with everything that's inside of the brackets, including the coefficient. So that means negative 2 to the 3rd power. It doesn't mean negative 2 times 3. Remember, that's a common mistake. So negative 2 to the 3rd power is negative 8, because it's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. And then we have x to the 3rd raised to the 3rd power, so that's x to the 9th. So we multiply those exponents. Okay, in the second set of brackets, we have to write in our 1 that's missing there on the x, and then share the squared to everything inside. So 3 squared, again, means 3 times 3, so that's 9. And then we have x to the 2nd power, because we multiply 1 times 2, and then y to the 4th power, 2 times 2. Okay, so now we can multiply the results here. So we look at our coefficients. We have negative 8 times 9 is negative 72. X to the 9th times x squared is x to the 11th, because we add those exponents when we're multiplying. And then y to the 4th, because there's nothing to combine that with.